So this race starts out with a grass prologue. It's not very long, I don't think, this year, but you typically go around the fields. It's really hard to get through, and then you have that like really close, tight corner, and then you get down into the woods. This the This section is kind of unlike all the other sections. There's kind of gravel single track, so it's really loose. Where once you get out of this short section and down into the rest of the course, it turns into like hard packed organic matter. Yeah, that section up over the roots always gets you. And then you have a surprise kind of a climb here after that short rooty climb. And you lose a lot of your momentum. And then once you cross this gravel road, you hit another climb. And it's surprisingly steep right there and a little bit loose, but then once you get over that, it's not so bad. It's, the part of the race where you're kind of battling because this is going to be your last passing point. And riders typically bunch up here, and there's some, passing being done. And once you get, into the woods here past the ball fields, this is where, it starts to get really flowy and you can really get some speed. Again, in these sections, there's not a lot of passing opportunities. So you kind of either have to be aggressive or be happy with where you're at, and hopefully the folks in front of you are able to, keep a good pace, because if 1, 2, and 3 are the first couple riders up front are a little faster, they will be able to make time on you if you are stuck behind a less strong rider in this section. And it goes for a long time. It's not a short section. It is some time, because passing folks is really tough because there's logs on each side of the trail, so you can't just go off the trail to pass. You're kind of stuck. And then after this, you kind of have a little climb, but not really a climb, but it's not flowy. You're really, you have to mash on the pedals to kind of get over it, and then it levels back out. But again, as you can see, there's nowhere to pass because there's logs sticking out everywhere in the on the side of the course. So if you go off the course, you're going to clip one of those logs. And another thing about this section is you're really going to have to be good at log overs. Like, there's just I don't even know. I mean, we can count them. I think that's the second one. And there's the third log over. But you really, like, you're literally mashing the whole time through here, just to keep your momentum going. And here's the fourth log over. See the logs? They're sticking out. Fifth log over. They're sticking out everywhere. You're going to clip your pedal or a wheel if you try to go off course to pass somebody. Here's the sixth log over. Seventh log over. This is a section I really like. It's really flowing really fast. Eighth log over. Ninth log over. Yeah, in this section here, I like to take this high line so I can make this corner. But I still don't think that that's the best, but I mean, that's what I'm doing right now. And then it also gives you some momentum into this hill here. I think I lost count of log overs. I think I'm at like 9. Yeah, this section, you really have to, mash it to maintain your momentum. I lost a little bit here, but this is definitely a place you could lose some time. Now here's the 9th log over. Again, you're going to have to pick your battles where you're going to pass. I think here would be a good spot in this, this area, but still we do have some logs poking out here and there. I'm not calling that a log over. So this is where there is a difference in the course. The Cat 1 and pros will go to the left, and the Cat 2, 3s, and 4s will go to the right. Whoa, 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 whoa. So the Cat 1s will go through a technical section called bow tie. Cat 2, 3, and 4 will continue down this double track, which isn't too bad, and then you'll go up a short incline and then back down onto the gravel road, which takes you into the Surfer. Bow tie is a lot more complicated. You have this really technical corner here where it's basically a 180, and then you have a few drops that are pretty sketch, and it's a really gnarly section. Right there's a big drop down, and then you do hit some gnarly sections, and another drop, and then to this corner, a switchback, and then another drop, and then this brings you out to this rocky section, and then you come to the gravel climb, which sucks. I struggle on it every time. I don't know why, but it brings you out, and it's not even really that long. But you come out here, and then you shoot up the road here. And I put it, on 8 times speed just to get through it. But then this brings you out right here where the Cat 2, 3s come out. Wait, right here. And then you continue towards Surfer. And then you have to really mash it to make it up this hill, at a good clip. And then another surprising hill. And then it puts you in probably the most fun and / sketch section of the whole race course. This flows, and you get some really good speed, but there are, rocky drop sections that will catch you off guard if you're not prepared, or if, you're not skilled in technical riding. So I do want to put that out there, because, you will be going fairly fast, and then they sneak up on you. Once you get into this rocky section, your speed kind of basically decreases immensely, and you really have to pick a good line. There is a good worn out line. Sometimes high, sometimes, there's a high line, there's sometimes a low line. Just make sure you're looking ahead, because you can get some decent speed. You just have to pick the correct line. Here's another place where there's a choice between two different lines. I like to take the right line because it lines you up perfectly for the rock section here. I personally like to take the left line. A lot of people take the right line, and this puts you right straight for the climb, which is really rocky right there at the beginning. It's basically a creek bed. So this climb is not too technical. There are rocks and roots. It just you're kind of beat up after that rocky section, and then it spits you out on this climb. So it's not super pleasant. It's some people say that this is the recovery from what you just did. It's tough. It's tough. You think it's going to be, you're looking forward and you're like, okay, I'm almost there. And then boom, there's another little clip there that you're not expecting. Yeah, you can do it. There you go. So that was basically the only real, stretch of rocks. There's another section of rocks, but that's probably the most brutal section beyond, a few sporadic different sections. You get back into flow from for a while here. But as I had mentioned before, there were a lot of log overs in the flow on the first of the race course. Well, there are a bunch of log overs on this section of the race course as well. We're at 10 on the first section, and we're at 11 now. And there's 12. And back to what I was discussing, and there's 13. Passing in these flowy sections is tough. Because there are logs peeking out of these. There's 14 of these woods here. You're gonna have a hard time finding a place where you're gonna have room to pass somebody with all these logs laying around. So you're gonna have to pick your passing fairly strategically. All right, 15, 16. So we're at 16 log overs on this race course so far. We'll count that, 17. So I really like this section too. You can really get moving. Some little jumps here. So, yeah, this climb here, starts to lead you into some kind of like sections that it starts getting a little complicated around here. You really have to be on your game after this climb. So you go over this log, so we're at 18 log overs. So right here, this section is really complicated. It's really sketchy. There's no lead up, and then you kind of come up, and then you gotta kind of weasel your way down that sharp, steep descent. And
thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, it's complicated. It took me a while to get it. So we're at 19 log overs. I crashed there one of the first times riding that descent, and I had the yips for the longest time. This is typically the climb out of the woods, but this puts you back onto the race course. So you're riding, this climb here. And then we have this log over here. So that puts us at 20 log overs so far. And then it puts you back on the single track up here. There we go. To the right. No, I won't call that a log over. We are currently at 20. We'll call that one. That's 21. In this section, you can really get some good speed. There's, you got to watch out for these bridges, though. During races, people are always going off of them. But again, logs laying everywhere, so it's hard to find passing lanes. So this used to be the prologue, which I believe they've removed from last year. So there's another log over. It's 22. Yeah, these branches sticking out, you gotta watch for them. Oh, there's a rabbit. There's 23 log overs. That one's a little steeper. I flatted twice last week on it. There's 24. $25. So once you get into this section, this is, you know, kind of where, you know, this was the prologue, there would be like some congestion, you know, because you get into this, you know, this boardwalk. And you got to be careful. If it's the least bit wet, it will be slippery. They often get photos here, so just to give you a heads up. And coming out of this, you have 2 log overs that are very close to each other, so you have to be on your game there. So we have 26 and 27. So we're at 27 log overs so far on a 5-mile course. And we're not even done with the course yet. We start getting into another rocky section here. Briefly, but then it carries you back in to the rocky section. Yeah, these logs here are sketch. Always afraid I'm going to clip them. There you go. And then you're back into some rocks. This is a little faster of a section. You don't have to necessarily pick the perfect line to maintain your speed. You can just hammer it. But like the issue that is though that after this section it carries you into the longest climb of the course. So this rocky descent here, it's not as bad as it looks when you're riding it, but you know, it's really hard to maintain your speed because you have that sharp turn at the bottom, and it's really loose. But this also, like I was saying, carries you into the longest climb of the race, which is at, towards the end of the lap. It doesn't look, like that. I mean, it's not terrible, but it just, it's long, and it's not steep here in this section. But then it kicks up to the left here. So after you get this climb done, you go back and you have some nice flow. And there's another log over, so we're at 28. But this flow doesn't last long. It shoots you right back up the hill here. So you have like, kind of a punchy climb. But it's not that short, but, it's punchy. It's not a grinder. Won't call that a log over, barely anything. So we're at 29 log overs. We're at 30 log overs. There's logs laying everywhere. So you gotta be, there's 31, 32. I call that a drop. So we're at 32 log overs, but like seriously, you can clip your handlebars, pedal on these logs. So be careful. You got to watch. This is towards the end of the course, so there will, be like kind of an incentive here to be a little bit more aggressive. But the one thing that is good is that there is also a climb to end the lap. So you have that descent, and then you have a climb. It levels out a little bit. You think you're in the clear. And then you shoot back up right here, and this takes you back into the finish, where you'll have to probably go around the fields again for a grassy sprint finish.
ride this shit out to the finish.